Alrighty, so with these NFL games kind of being blowouts right now, at least the games that I'm getting, I figured I could quickly kind of talk about this Scott Frost being gone. I think it's, I think it's about 6 months too late. He should have been fired after going 3-9. Now I understand that he finished every game within one score last year, but to consistently finish with one scores, that's got to be coaching, and you can't be going 3-9 at Nebraska for 4 years straight and keep your job. I mean, what was his best year? 5-7, and that's because he won his last like 3 games. His second year, I think, maybe his first year. I can't even remember. He was 5-22 in one-score games. To have that many one-score games, and especially to only win 5 of them, it's just got to be coaching. Now, I could sit on here and roast him, which I'm really tempted to do, but I think it was just this should have happened a long time ago. I mean, man, that game last night, I called it. I told you. If you follow this channel, I told you. I said put money on the money line of Georgia Southern. They're very underrated. They're a very talented Group of 5 team. And just from watching Nebraska week 0 and then checking the stat sheet or whatever against North Dakota, you could see this coming. And then plus with Oklahoma next week, you could see them overlooking. Man, he deserved it. I mean, the dude is a scumbag. Here comes the roast. I mean, he's a complete scumbag. I mean, every time they would lose, it was always somebody else's fault. It was always somebody else's fault. It was never his fault. I'm not a Nebraska fan, so I don't care. But it was just always somebody else's fault. He was always blaming somebody else. And hell, even after week 0, he's throwing Mark Whipple under the bus, the second coach to do that within like a 3-month span, because he told Mark Whipple to be more creative. Well, the offense was fine, I thought, against Northwestern. The defense just started to choke because Northwestern was running the same 6 plays every drive and pushing them. You know, that comes to defense. Now, I'm shocked that the defense is bad because it was actually pretty good last year. But I believe they did lose a couple of their top players, but they also returned some of their top players from last year's defense. But it's just sad. I feel bad for Nebraska fans. I mean, not really, but I mean, I think they should be kicked out of the Big Ten. First, you come into the Big Ten, then you lose your academic standard thing that they have in the Big Ten. And now you're probably the worst team in the Big Ten, if not all of football right now. I mean, I'd be scared to go to a Group of 5. You might not even make a bowl game there right now. But with Scott Frost gone, I think this is actually a good thing, and I think Nebraska will actually be better now. I think they're going to win more games now. They probably might still go 7-5, especially with Scott Frost gone. Now, who takes over? It's whatever, but I don't think whoever takes over is going to be the next head coach. There's 3 candidates. Me personally, my number 1 is Matt Campbell. I just think he knows the area. He's been at Iowa State forever. He can recruit that kind of area. It's a step up from Iowa State. Now it just depends if he wants to leave Iowa State or not, which is going to be tough because he did just sign an extension, and it seems like he loves coaching Iowa State. But that would be my number 1, Matt Campbell, especially now that he's finally beaten Iowa and he can prove he can win bigger games. But Iowa, that's a different story. My number 2 would be Bob Stoops. Maybe try to bring him out of retirement for a couple years just to get the program back in shape, and then try to go after that younger guy. You know, he was at Iowa, at Oklahoma forever. He knows the area too. He's a great all-time coach. I would go after Bob Stoops. That'd be my second choice. My third choice, I kind of agree with what the national media is saying and going after Matt Rule in case Carolina does suck. Now, with this being, you know, as late as this video is coming out now, that I'm kind of getting bored of watching the NFL right now with these boring games on. Carolina lost today. Baker Mayfield lost to his former team, the Cleveland Browns. This could be a bad thing for Matt Rule, and Matt Rule could be on his way back to college. Now, he's a great college coach. He was good at Baylor. However, being away from college with the whole NIL thing now since he's been gone, does that affect it? I don't know. but you need to go after him soon because the whole recruiting cycle is about to take place, and you got to get him. You got to get him in there before. You got to know who you want by the first recruiting cycle because more kids are starting to sign early now, and you got to attack this recruiting class unless you're just going to give up and then go for next year. But I would personally go after Matt Campbell, but I don't think you're getting Matt Campbell before the recruiting cycle. So Nebraska's got a tough decision. I don't know who they're going to take as their interim right now, but I would give Mark Whipple. I understand that his last stint at UMass was bad, but he's been proven that he's a good offensive mind, and I think he can just let the defense coach itself. Now, the defense is bad, so I'm just like kind of lost at Nebraska's program. I mean, from hearing all these stories before I was born to how good Nebraska was to watching him now, it's just sad. What is this, 5 straight years of losing seasons? That's a complete downfall. It's garbage. Now, with Scott Frost, where does he go from here? I think he goes and rehabilitates himself at the good old Saban program at Alabama for a year or two and then gets a good job. Now, he could take a Group of 5 job because he's not getting a Power 5 job. If any Power 5 school tries to hire Scott Frost, they're dumb, they're stupid. It'd be pointless. But Scott Frost, I think, is going to go, he's going to go get his shit together with Saban because I think Bill O'Brien's out the door. He'll probably get a job somewhere, or he's just not going to be good enough because Bama's offense, those receivers, they're very talented, look terrible against Texas. So he'll probably go offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, whatever. But man, nothing like getting burned by your own alma mater. I feel like Nebraska should give Michigan the national championship in '97 now. Poor Scott Frost. What a scumbag. I was happy that he got fired. I think it's good for Nebraska. I liked him at UCF, but then he went and played against Michigan one day, and he got blown out like 63-10, and he said that UCF out-hit Michigan that day, and I was like, all right, maybe this guy's kind of a lunatic. But then he did good at the following year at UCF, and I was like, all right, maybe this guy can actually coach. And then he goes to Nebraska, and the story writes itself. I mean, just the fact, I'm just like mind-boggled at the fact that every time something bad would happen, it was always somebody else's fault. And being a head coach, that's just not right. I mean, you're the head coach. Like, you run the team. Like, take the blame. Say that I need to be better. Say something else. Stop. Don't be throwing it everybody under the bus and saying, "Oh, you need to be more creative," or our players aren't championship caliber players, or even like walking into week 0. I thought oh yeah, our players were puking yesterday. Everybody's puking and throwing up. Well, that didn't seem to help. So, well, Scott Frost is gone. It's over. I can't make fun of him anymore. One more thing, because I got a million things running through my mind about Scott Frost, and I don't know how to order it right now. Scott Frost, I think with losing to Georgia Southern, if he doesn't get fired, I think he beats Oklahoma, and it just throws everything in a confusion of what the hell to do. I honestly believe he would have beaten Oklahoma after losing to Georgia Southern. I would have totally bet Nebraska next week to beat Oklahoma. But can't do that anymore. Now I think Nebraska is going to be better, so whatever the spread is, I haven't even checked. Probably won't check till tomorrow. I think Nebraska covers. I think Nebraska's going to be better without Scott Frost. Scott Frost is gone. No more scumbaggery in Nebraska. That's pretty much my take on it. Don't want to harp on the guy too much because he is a head coach. He knows more than I do, clearly. But for just the shit that he says, I'm glad he's gone. And I honestly believe he doesn't deserve to coach anywhere because if he doesn't learn from that and keeps throwing people under the bus because it's never his fault. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of just repeating myself now. But man, I'm going to miss. See, I keep going from different topics because there's so many things to say about it, and I'm gonna miss that crying face on the sideline. I'm gonna miss it because every time it started going bad, you could just see his eyes going, like just standing there on the sideline. You could see it. Scott Frost is gone. Let me know what you think down below. Did you like Scott Frost? Did you not? Like, share, and subscribe. But that's going to be it for now. Scott Frost, see you later. You suck. Nebraska, hopefully get your shit together. You don't deserve to be in the Big Ten. And yeah, that'll do it. Peace.